I don't always like everything that President Trump says or does, but I do believe that he has the best interests of the United States of America in mind. He has absolutely nothing to gain. He's not doing it for money. He's not doing it for fame. He's not doing it for popularity. He's not doing it for chicks. He's doing it because he feels like he can be put in a position to make positive change and to get us back on track. And I believe that about him. It took me when he was president for the first time, it took me a good 3 years, maybe 2.5 years to get on board with him because he was just so you know what I mean? Like he get on Twitter and say these things, and he gets in front of a camera, and he's so polarizing. But at the end of the day, I feel like, and I don't want this to sound wrong, but God only has imperfect people to work with. So if there were a purpose for President Trump, God is only utilizing an imperfect man, just like he's always done, just like he does with even his prophets, y'all. Read the Bible. Prophets, they were all flawed in some way. And Donald Trump is no prophet, but if he is following the Spirit, if he is doing what he thinks is right for this country, God is using an imperfect man to do his will, which is what he always does, because those are the only people he has. Right? We're all imperfect in some way. I'm not even close. I don't even pretend to be perfect. I mean, I go to church, I have a calling, I do everything that I think I'm supposed to do, and I'm still an extremely flawed human. But I feel like at least he has our best interests in mind. And the thing that we're gonna have to do though is checks and balances because we don't want it to get too far out of hand. Meaning we don't want to lean so far to the right that our country becomes a place where hate is our political movement. Do you know what I mean? Like we want to try to I hope that he can continue to reach across the aisle. I'm not saying you can make everyone happy because you can't. I lean, far to the right, not as far as some people, but pretty far to the right. I'm very socially liberal on certain things, but I'm absolutely fiscally conservative. And I believe Trump is fiscally conservative. And I really just wanted to come on here and say, I hope that we can pray for our country and pray for our leaders and pray that we can sort of start getting things back on track and that maybe things can level off a bit so that they don't have to be so hard on us because things are going to start happening, y'all. We're definitely in the end times right now, and things are going to get way worse before they get better. And them getting better is Christ returning. So I'm hoping that this presidency and that this administration can set things up in a way to make things easier on the common man so that we can sort of get our ducks in a row and start to help ourselves a little bit before things get bad. That's what I'm looking forward to, anyways. And I know there's people out there that are going to feel like they're being targeted and feel like this is the end of the world and oh my gosh, I need to move to another country. But if you live in America and you're thinking about leaving and going to another country, just remember people don't fight to go to France. People don't swim shark infested waters to live in Great Britain. People don't sell off their belongings, give all their money to these coyotes, travel through the desert, with no water, barefoot with a kid on each hip because they want to live in Ireland. People do that to come to America. This is the only land that was set up that way by our Creator. This land was created for religious freedom so that we could exercise our right to worship our God how we saw fit. There's a lot of responsibility that comes along with that. Sometimes we get leaders that don't really support that. Um, Sometimes we get leaders that think with their hearts and not with their brains. And we get that a lot. And a lot of people in this country think with their hearts and not their brains. And it's easy to do that. I think with my heart a lot of times. I'm not a heartless human. I use my heart just as much as anybody else does. I'm the guy that gives the homeless person money. You know what I mean? I don't question it. It's not my place to do that. I'm just saying there are certain issues that I'm always going to be conservative about. And that's why I'm going to vote for a Donald Trump over anyone that's running against him. Because, like I said, I believe that at the end of the day, he's the best person for the job right now. So if you feel the same way, great. If you don't, that's fine too. But just remember, at the end of the day, aren't we all just kind of sitting around waiting on Jesus? We got to stop looking left and right and start looking up anyways. So chomp on these words.